Welcome back, YCN Sports Talk. Jeremy Stout, Andrew Zerhide, and we get over to the hardwood, the Boston Celtics in the midst of a now pretty tight Eastern Conference semifinals. When we were here last week, they looked like they were rolling. They were up 2-0. Now they've since lost 2 games in Washington. Both teams have held home court advantage, so it's nothing to panic about.
Right.
But, boy, do they look different than they did the first 2 games.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think last week I predicted the Celtics were going to win in 5 games.
Right.
That's completely out the window.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really looking like the home team is going to win. I really think this game is going to go to 7.
Right.
And that's going to give the Celtics the advantage.
Yep.
So, I mean, really, they looked really – I mean, so in Game 4 – I think they had a 12-point lead in the first half at one point, and Isaiah Thomas was 5 for 5 from 3, and they looked really good, and then they just fell apart completely, and John Wall started to go off, and the crowd really energized the Wizards, and then the Celtics just completely fell apart both on offense and defense. So, I mean, to me, the home crowd, who's ever at home, definitely has the advantage in each game, and it looks to me like it's a bigger advantage than normal.
Right, and we know that from different studies that the refs do give home court advantage to calls.
Right.
Whether it's right or wrong or how big of an advantage is up for debate, but there is some built-in advantage. So Washington has to win tonight, Game 5, if they want to win the series, because they only have 1 home game left. But I think because Game 7 at home, it's tough to win on the road.
Yep.
You know, we saw obviously the Cavs do that last year in the finals, but you usually don't do that. So you give the Celtics Game 7 at home, assuming they get there. Celtics win tonight, that sets them up. Winning Game 3, what are the keys? You know, obviously getting Isaiah Thomas involved, but somebody else has to step up and score, because the biggest problem when the Celtics lose, it's because nobody else can score and Isaiah Thomas is shut down.
Right, absolutely. They need guys like Avery Bradley to score, Al Horford, Jay Crowder. But like you said, the refs, they tend to favor the home team. Isaiah Thomas, I think he's averaging about, I think I heard 12 free throws per playoff game right now. He didn't take a single free throw
in Game 4.
In Game 4.
Right.
So, and I don't think he necessarily should have taken 12, maybe like 6.
Right.
But he didn't take a single free throw, and that cannot happen if the Celtics want to win this game.
And you saw him lobbying the refs after the game, you know, talking in his post-game press conference, and then they get Game 5 at home. I think you'll see him go to the free throw line, I would say at least a dozen times, maybe 15.
Right.
That tends to happen in the swings in that series. Getting over to the defensive side, we know Isaiah Thomas is a defensive liability. Do you if you're Brad Stevens, do you say, okay, John Wall's we'll let him get his. He's a tall guy. You talked about how big he is, and Isaiah Thomas can't guard him. Can Crowder, can Bradley, whatever. Do we let John Wall get his points and don't let Bradley Beal beat us, Porter, Gortat, or do we say we got to figure out how to stop Wall? How do you attack on the defensive side?
So to me, if you're an opposing team going up against the Celtics, I think you do that with Isaiah Thomas. You let him go off, but you defend everybody else. But with the Wizards, I think, you know, it's tough to say. I think, to me, John Wall, he can really go off. I mean, he could score. I mean, we saw Isaiah Thomas score 50 the other night. But to me, John Wall can more easily do that.
Right.
And so to me, it's like, can you really let him completely go off?
Right.
You know, maybe like 80%, 70%. It's tough to say. I mean, we saw he really took over that Game 4 with a couple of and one layups. And so to me, it seems like the Wizards really feed off of John Wall. So if he's going off, it might be tough to stop everybody else.
Well, and we saw him in the game that Thomas scored 53, John Wall scored 39 or 40. He was right there with him. And, okay, so it looks like Kelly Oubre will be back, getting suspended for Game 4 after the dust-up between himself and Kelly Olynyk. Any bad blood going to continue, or have they realized that you can't get suspended? I mean, you look at Draymond Green last year in the finals. He got suspended because of a number of technicals, and it probably cost him the series. Now you're in a best-of-3 series. No more funny business. You got to leave it on the court and be clean. Right.
You got to be clean. I mean, at this point, best-of-3 series, there's no room for any overreaction or any too much emotion. You know, if somebody disrespects you on the court, go out and make a bucket in their face.
Show when it counts.
With play. Don't get physical and shove people. That's just childish and just. To me, it's like grow up and just play.
And I think we'll see them all on their best behavior because, like we said, with 3 games left in somebody's season, possibly, maybe 2, you can't be screwing around really and causing your team suspension. So Celtics Game 5 tonight, big game. Traditionally, the team that wins Game 5 and goes up 3-2 wins that series in 6 or 7. We'll talk some more NBA on the other side of the break. Couple series ended early as we expected. Another one still going on. and then maybe do a little preview of the NBA Finals, what we think it might be when we come back. You're watching YCN Sports Talk.